Steve Francis con 25. 25 Francis, 22 Mobley.
Boston controls. Henderson and Ainge in the backcourt in the story there, Bill.
Well, they've been changing the guards all year just about because of injuries and things and player development.
Maxwell misses.
And so this is the set of the guards that I think that the Celtics are going to go with for the playoff unless there's injury or something happens drastic.
Clement Johnson, who is an acquisition, has really helped Philadelphia. Misses inside. Coming out to Maurice Cheeks. No longer rated an underrated point guard. Julius Erving, the magnificent all-star, goes in. The basket counts and a foul. So a quick look at Julius Erving, the doctor.
If not poor, to only adequate rebounding team, to one of the best rebounding teams, if not the best rebounding team in the league. And the main reason for that was Moses, of course, but the other teams had to concentrate so much on him that they left the other guys free to rebound.
Danny Ainge picked up that foul, and it's 3-0 in favor of Philadelphia. Larry Bird, who missed the last 3 games with a groin injury, starting but will not play all of that much in this game. Robert Parish misses outside and defends well up front. Here's Andrew Toney. Toney working against Danny Ainge and Hicks. There's a combination that could come back in the playoffs. Ainge trying to stop Toney. No easy task. Throws the ball away. Bird does to Clement Johnson. Henderson on Cheeks. 5-0. We have yet to complete 2 minutes and traveling call at the other end. Bill Fitch in his 4th year at Boston, and it's been perhaps a tough year for Bill.
Well, he's had to go through a lot of lineup changes, and whenever you do that, nobody's happy.
One of those people not happy is Tiny Archibald, who has been injured. 34-year-old guard, not starting. Maxwell goes in with a beautiful shot by Cedric Maxwell, who has been one of those players who has not had a good year for the Celtics.
He's never take out the target.
Clement Johnson with the foul.
You know, if the Celtics are going to be successful in the playoffs, one of the key players that has to have a good series is Maxwell.
Cedric Maxwell, power forward on the team. Andrew Toney, guarded by Danny Ainge. Toney has emerged as a true star in the National Basketball Association. Maurice Cheeks misses. Erving crashes the boards, and McNamara crashes Maxwell. Knocks him down and is called for the loose ball foul.
Well, he let him know that he was around.
So the foul is on Mark McNamara. First-round draft choice. He had 7 points and 12 rebounds in 20 minutes of action against New Jersey Friday night. We have completed just about 2 minutes of this first period. Dick Stockton with Bill Russell. 5-3, Philadelphia lead. Bird, it was tipped. Hit. 3-point play by Danny Ainge, who has improved his shooting from the mid-30s to 50% in his second year.
What the Celtics did on that last play, they tried to double-team Robert Parish to help the rookie out, and Ainge went to the 3-point range and just waited.
Holding his wrist is Maxwell, his left wrist. The offensive foul is on Julius Erving, his first. So the front line of the Sixers, Erving, Clement Johnson, and Mark McNamara each have picked up 1 personal foul. 6-5, Boston leading. High post is Robert Parish, bringing McNamara out. Robert Parish hits up front. He can do it outside. He can pass, and he can go inside, and it's 8-5. So the Sixers are starting Clement Johnson at power forward because in the playoffs he figures to play a good deal at that position, as well as backup Malone. Mark Ivoroni started most of the year at power forward, but usually came out after settling the stage rebounding-wise. Erving has 5 of the 7 Philadelphia points. Henderson right back. If there's a key to the Celtics, Bill Fitch says, it's Gerald Henderson. He has to assume point guard duties.
Well, what happened to him last year was that Tiny got hurt, and all of a sudden he had the responsibility he didn't have before. And he didn't quite adjust to it. By the time he did adjust to it, the series was over.
McNamara just met Robert Parish and the Boston Celtics. With the trailer, Cedric Maxwell scoring. And it is now a 5-point Celtic lead. 12-7, 8:35 remaining in the first period. Clement Johnson in the lane. And it dropped for him. So the acquisition from Indiana in mid-February, who has really beaten up the front line and the bench for Philadelphia, starting in this game, brings the Sixers to within 3. Danny Ainge inside, certainly playing with more confidence, and he's more assured. Erving on a nifty pass and the hoop.
Well, Danny Ainge has been able to do something he wasn't able to. He's able to do something here in Boston he wasn't able to do in Toronto. Got the average up.
That's right. The basket's going to count to Maxwell. We're going to look at the alley-oop.
You don't even know it because he's so fluid. Doesn't look like he's doing anything. Looks like he's just trotting, but he's really, you don't realize how fast he's moving.
Cedric Maxwell off to a good start. He has 8 points, averaging just under 12 for the year. Clement Johnson has 2 personal fouls and a 6-point lead once again for Boston, 17-11. In fact, this is their biggest lead of the ball game. Out of bounds, still Philadelphia ball. Robert Parish, the chief, he averaged 19.5 points a game, and his field goal percentage shooting led the team.
You know, the way that teams play Andrew Toney is one of the keys to beating Philadelphia. Not so much whether you stop him from scoring or not, but how well you play him and how hard you make him work to get the points that he gets.
Maurice Cheeks in the corner. He misses that shot. Clement Johnson over Larry Bird, and the offensive rebound by Clement Johnson, who was a second-round draft choice out of Portland in '78. Celtics, meanwhile, coming back with a 4-point lead, have hit their last 7 shots. Ainge, watched by Toney. Bird, 3-point territory. And that's their first miss in 8 tries. Cheeks control. 7 minutes, 10 seconds to go, first period. Philadelphia, Boston. They could be playing again. The Eastern Conference Finals. Ainge made a good play on Julius Erving. Clement Johnson missed inside, and Parish and Danny Ainge, in a game that everyone would think means nothing, goes head over heels out of bounds, going for the loose ball and gets it.
You know, that Atlanta beating Milwaukee last night was kind of a surprise, but it was good because the guys won their way into the playoffs, not depending on other teams to lose.
Exactly. Julius Erving in low to McNamara, tries to fake, goes in. Nice move, but he couldn't roll it in. The rebound by Parish. The Sixers scored the first 5 points of the game, and the Celtics came on from there. Biggest lead was 6. They can match the biggest lead now. Parish. And here comes Andrew Toney. He has improved defensively as a passer, and a lot of people say he's still unstoppable as a scorer. Off the mark there, and a loose ball foul has been called against Philadelphia, and fouls against Mark McNamara. His second personal foul. Moses Malone, excuse me, Russ, want to mention for those that just tuned in, Moses Malone has tendonitis in his right knee, did not make the trip, and is sitting it out, getting ready for the Eastern semifinal.
Well, you know, one of the things about Moses not being here, Philadelphia is going to get a chance to find out something they never wanted to find out, and that was how good they are without Moses.
Henderson on a nice steal to Maxwell, driving in. Maxwell fighting for the loose ball. And if you say Maxwell's play is important to the Celtics in the playoffs, they have to be happy about what he's done in this first period. Under 6 minutes to play. 17-13. Clement Johnson working against Max. Good play by Clement Johnson.
He didn't get too deep in position.
Gerald Henderson driving in. That's a Henderson we haven't seen in the past. That is a penetrating Gerald Henderson.
To develop that part of the game, he's always had the ability to do that. But you have to set it up to be able to do that, and that's one of the things he's learned. I've watched him in practice a few times, and I think time's been a lot of help to him.
Gerald Henderson, who has averaged over 14 a game as a starter in the last 7. This is his 8th consecutive start. Mark McNamara, by the way, picked up his 3rd personal foul. He remains in there. Reggie Johnson replaced Clement Johnson. Reggie Johnson, another acquisition. Parish got a piece of that shot by Mark McNamara, and the Celtics coming down with a 4-point lead. Danny Ainge, really this is his first year when you consider he came in December, did not have the opportunity to take part in camp. Parish loops it up, fine play, and McNamara finding out what it's like going against one of the premier centers in the league. Matching the biggest lead, Boston right now with nearly 5 minutes remaining in the first period.
And McNamara is probably going to be a little tired a little earlier because Robert Parish is one of the better running centers in the league. And when he's running at about half speed, McNamara has running about full speed almost at 3/4.
Here's how it happened.
These two guys are trying to establish something. And what they're trying to establish is that they can handle each other. In other words, that Tony can score on Ainge, and Ainge that he can slow him down and make him work for him.
Cedric Maxwell with 10 points in the ball game. He is 4 for 6 from the field, and the biggest lead of the ball game for the Celtics now, 8 points, 4.5 to play, first period. Cheeks finds Reggie Johnson.
switched, and Henderson is guarding Tony. He can wear out most guys.
Julius Erving, no good. Ames and Bird collide. That had to hurt Danny a little bit, but he holds on to the ball. Larry Bird has taken a three-point attempt, hasn't scored yet in the ball game. Leading scorer for the Celtics, Maurice Cheeks. Boston back nicely on defense. Andrew Toney, explosive. They double-team him momentarily. Cheeks to Julius. Blocked inside by Parish. Parish rejects Julius Erving. And the crowd loves it. Celtics by 8, trying to make it 10. And they're going to have a chance as Parish will go to the line. But at the other line, and Bobby Jones has come into the ball game. Jones will see a lot of action in the playoffs. In the past, he has been a bit fatigued in postseason, but not so. Hasn't played that many minutes. So Jones will be a key man. Meanwhile, Mark McNamara picked up his 4th foul and goes out of the ball game. Missed free throw. Bird got the rebound, and Henderson. Reggie Johnson clears it. Still an 8-point Boston lead. 3.5 to play in the first. Clint Richardson also in the ball game. Reliable third guard for Philadelphia, and wearing number 4.
Except for the new acquisitions, the Philadelphia is pretty much an all-veteran team. The only team they have on the floor now is. They've been together for a few years. Clint Richardson and Cheeks and Curitan and Bobby Jones, they've been together a while.
And the one aspect that might have been a weakness of Philadelphia, the bench, no longer is a weakness with the acquisition of the Johnson boys and the development of not only Clint Richardson, but Franklin Edwards. Maurice Cheeks on the drive, will go to the line and shoot. On the team foul story, the Celtics line in case they meet again.
Yeah, we've watched his development as a player over the years, and he has improved in the very subtle aspect of the game. Because he's one of the few guys that does a lot of shooting, that his shooting doesn't throw the rest of the team off.
Kevin McHale in the game for Boston.
See, a lot of guys go one-on-one, and while they're going one-on-one, the other guys have a tendency to stand around so they don't make the good transition from offense to defense. He's developed his game in such a way that it doesn't happen to his teammates in Philadelphia.
Gerald Henderson finds Bird, and a 3-second violation called against Boston. So the Sixers can come within 4 points with 2:43 to go in the first period. There's Kevin McHale, 6th in the NBA in blocked shots. Bill Fitch said yesterday he can block the shots, but we don't want him to forget about the rebound. Sometimes he can come out to block shots and forget about the board. Bobby Jones. Rebound by Reggie Johnson, and he's fouled inside. Foul is on McHale inside.
Important feature in that is the way you land. If you land on both feet and flex, you can get back into the play to get the rebound, but you have to make sure you land in a flex position. And you have to be thinking 1 or 2 steps ahead of where you are so that you know where you got to go when you land.
23-19, 2:22. Bobby Jones guarding Larry Bird, a familiar matchup in playoffs past. Bird trying to look inside to Parish. He's guarded by Earl Curitan. A hook shot. McHale tries to knock it in. Henderson comes back in the lane. And the Boston Celtics, who are trying to get it together. This has not been an altogether smooth year for the Celtics because of injuries and perhaps team out of sync a little bit. The chemistry might not have been the same as in the past. Trying to get the magic back. Off the hands of Bobby Jones, Boston ball, and Bird threw it in.
That was a super move by Larry Bird.
They never gave the signal as to whose ball it was, did they?
What he did was he went right after the ball, and it was his ball out of bounds without and he forced the referee almost to say you're ball out of bounds, and neither one saw it.
Bob Rakel never made a move. Bob Rakel never made a move.
Watch the move here. He knocks the ball loose. He goes out just like it's his ball out of bounds. Gives it to him, waiting for it. Gives it back to him.
And Lee Jones saying all along, wait a second. Philadelphia the ball.
They got to throw it up again. They really got that on the way up.
Turnover story. 6-2 Philadelphia. Turned the ball over 6 times. Celtics have it. Leading by 6, 145. This crowd, capacity crowd, is up. Every time these clubs play, as M.L. Carr said at the top, it means something. Parish doesn't make it. Here comes the Sixers on the running game. It's a 4-on-2 break, and they normally score here. Earl Curitan from Maurice Cheeks, and it is now a 25-21 game Boston. And a steal by Cheeks. He leads the team in steals and goes in with the shot. Don't keep your eye away from Maurice Cheeks. That's the moral.
And Philadelphia's always been a strong, for the last 5 or 6 years, it's been a very strong defensive team all the time. And they went a little more offense this year, but they still are an outstanding defensive team. And you have to be to win that many games.
Bobby Jones almost tied up McHale. Forced McHale to take a shot he didn't want. Parish coming right back inside. McHale and Bobby Jones might have gotten a piece of him, and he did. Jones fouls Kevin McHale on the follow-up. Henderson goes out, but Ainge is the story, or I should say Archibald is the story. His penetrating guard play, to a lot of people, is the key to the Celtics' success in the playoffs. Yet, he's 34, has been hurt. Defensively may be a bit vulnerable now, and of course I think as long as Tiny here, that's going to be a big subject of discussion.
They may discuss it, but he can help.
Celtics by 3. No one denies that. 45 seconds remaining in the first period. Curitin over Parish. Short. Guarded by Clint Richardson. It's a very tough defensive game.
And the Celtics seem to be trying to go inside much more than usual and trying to get Robert Parish to take advantage of the fact that Moses is not there, I guess.
12 seconds on the shot clock. You're looking at the game clock for this first period. On your screen, Danny Ainge gets a step inside. Rolls off. Curitin the rebound. Everyone playing from both sides in this game. And of course for Philadelphia, as Billy Cunningham told us, he wants to get his reserves to play considerably today for the postseason. 5 seconds. Maurice Cheeks goes in, blocked by McHale. Clint Richardson's rebound shot no good, and that's the end of the first period. At the end of one period at Boston Garden, the Celtics 26, the 76ers 23. I mean, maybe his best year, an extraordinary campaign. He had 53 points against Indiana, an all-time Celtic high. He has been injured, though. He has missed 3 straight games coming into this one with a groin injury. He has led the club in just about every category you can imagine. Did not score in the first period. Bobby Jones inside.
But in the first period, I think he picked up a Tony Award for the best act by an athlete on a national TV game.
Archibald has a shot blocked by Cheeks, but Maxwell comes in. He is the leading scorer in this ball game with 12 points. Cedric Maxwell, who has already surpassed the season's average. Bobby Jones, one of the best transitional players, meaning going from the defense to the offense. Jones quickly scored, came right back. So it's 28-27 Celtics lead, opening minute here of the second period. McHale will go to the line.
Jones had to step.
We've talked about how Philadelphia has the time off. They will go to Lancaster, PA to their training camp starting Wednesday to get ready for the survivor of the mini-series between either New York and New Jersey or Atlanta and New Jersey. The Celtics, meanwhile, will be in action Tuesday against either Atlanta or New York. As we mentioned, Pat O'Brien at halftime brings you up to date with both the East and the West Conference. Spent a lot of time with him last night. How soon you forget?
I won't say he's a forgettable person.
Reggie Johnson almost lost it. Earl Curitin finding Parish inside. Parish blocked the shot, and here comes Ainge. It's his third block shot of the game. And Maxwell goes to McHale. Reggie Johnson, we'll talk a little bit about him because he's one of the key acquisitions for Philadelphia. And he showed Reggie Johnson something to Kevin McHale. Celtics up by 5, and we'll have a time. Early here in the second period, 32-27. The Celtic lead once 8, 5 points. Philadelphia knocked it down to 1. Clint Richardson from the corner. He has really become a reliable guard, tough inside defensively, and he is more physical than his appearance showed.
And he's developed a decent outside shot. He was not a good outside shooter. He's developed into a more than adequate one. And that's one of the reasons he's much more effective now.
Another good young guard for Philadelphia. Franklin Edwards coming in soon. Another turnover. Reggie Johnson gets it to the right man, who normally gets it to the right people up here. Earl Curitin over Parish, bringing him out. So 2 shots from the left corner. Cheeks now has 6 assists in the ball game. Parish hit, maintains control. Mo Cheeks quietly, 6 assists, 4 points, a steal, and a block shot. And there is Tiny Archibald getting his range. set for the mini-series starting Tuesday at Boston Garden, and a 3-point lead for the Celtics. Celtics, a record of 55-26. They had won 60 or more 3 years in a row before this year. Parish has developed into a scorer. Billy Cunningham. Penetrating was Archibald, and Parish in the corner. Cheeks has had his best scoring season. Clint Richardson starts the break for Philadelphia. Bobby Jones. Back the other way. Ames lead to Parish. Talk about centers who can run people. Robert Parish, as Bill Russell had mentioned earlier.
When you're a center, those kind of shots you hope for, because you only get those kind of shots about every 2 or 3 games when you get on a fast break.
Maxwell with 12 leads the Celtics. Julius Erving has 7 to lead Philadelphia. Scoring spread out on both sides. Clint Richardson. Bobby Jones crashing the boards. Well, he looks pretty spry for this time of year. Parish, like a redwood tree, with his 5th rebound over a bunch of red shirts. Archibald into McHale, who's hit and fouled. Bobby Jones commits the foul. And now we have some more men coming off the bench.
And he doesn't mind contact. In fact, he invites it. And there's the good doctor is back.
Julius is back. Franklin Edwards in the lineup. They'll be shuffling him in today. McHale shooting 2. That's the second team foul, by the way, against Philadelphia. Personal foul story. Mark McNamara, the rookie who started at center, has 4. Bobby Jones has 2. Clement Johnson 2. McHale hits the free throws. Celtics do not have a player with 2 free throws. McHale has 7 points in the game. Boston Garden, scene of the Celtics 76ers. Final day of the regular season. And the playoffs begin next week on CBS. Earl Curitin inside. Julius Erving, what a move by the Dokken. The basket counts and a foul.
Now here's a shot of the rebound. There he goes with it. Creativity. As you think of Julius Erving as the great open court player, but he is a very physical player when he's under the boards.
You have brought that out in every broadcast that the Sixers have appeared in, because people look at Julius as the man who sails in with the great dunk shot. Tiny Archibald hitting. Archibald moves the Celtics up by 4 with 7:45 remaining in this first half. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell. Playoff picture, of course, will be defined by Pat O'Brien at halftime. Clint Richardson comes back with 2. Richardson has 4. Erving has 10 to lead Philadelphia. Maxwell 12 to lead Boston. Franklin Edwards. And traveling call against Tiny.
Rick Roby set a pick on Franklin Edwards.
A packed house at Boston Garden against the Celtics. For both sides, really. To really get the play, see what it's like.
Well, you need to know about these guys, how they perform, because during the playoffs, anything can happen.
Like that. That happens. Look at the look on Cunningham, boy. He was like one of those fans as a
player.
Larry Bird is back in the lineup for the Boston Celtics. He has not scored yet, averaged nearly 24 points a game, and the leading scorer, among other things, for the Celtics this year. Larry is now in the column, folks.
And that's a mismatch, Bird with Clint Richardson. Clint's a big, strong guy, but Bird is bigger and stronger.
And Mr. Bird is also durable, as that graphic showed. 6:38 to go. Larry Bird is playing guard right now with Tiny Archibald. Larry will do that now and then, and the best outside shot they have. And a foul is called against the Celtics.
That's pushing him around at all.
And don't forget, he penetrates inside and takes a beating. I mean, he may be 6'1", but he's lasted 13 years. Julius Erving met a lot of white shirts named McHale and Bird and Roby. And so the Boston Celtics with a 2-point lead and 6:20 to go in the first half. Roby inside uses the muscle. Rebound is by the Doc. Gets it out quickly to Clint Richardson. The Celtics are back on the fence. Reggie Johnson, number 33, is up front with Earl Curitin and Julius Erving. Reggie Johnson with the ball now. Reverse layup by Clint Richardson, who's averaging over 7.5 points a game. He scored 18 in his only start of the year. That's against these same Celtics. Tiny misses and Bird tips it in. Larry Bird Bird with his second hoop, and the Celtics break another tie, 44-42. Celtics once had an 8-point lead. Julius with a stern look on his face. Getting a lot of heat out there. Reggie Johnson shovels in nicely to Curry, and then Maxwell blocks the shot. Irving comes right back with a feed to Reggie Johnson. And you're looking at NBA basketball with the agility and quick passing of these fine players. And Reggie Johnson, purchased from Kansas City for his scoring off the bench. Larry Bird.
There's that mismatch again that they're trying to take advantage of. And Philadelphia used it last time when Bird was guarding Richardson when he cut down the lane without the ball.
Larry Bird, they now credit that other basket before the tip in to Kevin McHale. So Bird has 4 points, and Reggie Johnson has scored his second straight hoop, and we have another tie. We have 5 ties in this ball game with less than 5 minutes remaining in the first half. McHale, watched by Johnson. That's off his foot. Tiny saves it. Guarded by Franklin Edwards. McHale set a pick. And Roby. You don't want Roby shooting.
That's not the shot they wanted, but they came out of it okay because they got the offensive rebound.
Tied at 46, 4:25 remaining, first half. Roby setting a screen, now coming off it. Coming in, McHale.
Good hands, because that was a tough pass to catch.
It was hard and high.
Good hands, yes.
Hard and high, but he handled it. Beat Reggie Johnson to the hoop. Celtics by 2. Philadelphia trying to create the 6th deadlock in this first half. And the doctor does it. Julius Irving, second score on his team, averaging nearly 7 rebounds. Maxwell goaltending against Clint Richardson. And the Celtics break the tie again. Billy doesn't know.
And that was an outstanding pass. And a good reception by the tight end. But that was an outstanding pass. Bird looked up and he saw that Maxwell had the step, and he threw the ball out there and let Maxwell run to it instead of trying to throw it right directly to him.
They're needing a computer in the final moments of this first half. Reggie Johnson has been having a hot hand. Julius coming out of nowhere is fouled. When he made that throw, he was like falling away. Julius Irving now with 15 points. He's hit his last 3 shots and has 5 rebounds. 12th year. The 7th with Philadelphia, played 5 with the American Basketball Association. Played college ball in the University of Massachusetts. And another tie, our 6th.
And Andrew Toney's back in the game.
Where is he?
Both coaches are using their bench quite a lot today.
As expected, Kevin McHale outside has 13 points, 12 of them here in the second period. And the Celtics take a lead. And video tape recorder to scout other teams and look at tapes. Franklin Edwards misses.